Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here of businesswithtrading.com, doing a trading strategy recap for Wednesday the 10th of June. And today was an interesting day, but it was interesting in a kick your face off type of way. So let's get into why it was so interesting. Today we had 4 trades and we ended up dropping 3 3/4 points. We've been talking a lot about trying to be consistent in the market, but also being able to just go from one trade to the next. Don't worry about what you did in your prior trade, because your prior trade and your current trade, or your prior trade and your future trade, they're not correlated. One trade's going to be one thing, the next trade's going to be the next thing. And if you have a proper trading strategy, then you know that over a set period of time that you're going to be able to make money. Like your professional poker players. And when I say professional, I mean your real professional poker players that make a living playing poker. They play the odds. They play the probability. What are the odds of this hand? Should I bet this hand? Should I not bet this hand? There's a lot of math involved. Trading is much more simplified. You have your setups, and you already know the setups that are in your trading plan, that are in your trading strategy. And then as the market plays out, you just have to implement those setups. Whatever you see a good one, take it. And then over time that what you do is going to work out. Okay, so let's get into our trades today. And today we actually missed a trade too. That's usually how it goes. And it doesn't matter. Okay, so anyway, price opened nice gap up here and started to move higher. As it moved up, we decided, okay, let's get long up here. Well, price came down. It stopped us out to the tick. That was actually interesting. It's like, oh man, that was horrible. But it happens. And then price starts to move up. I decide, let's try to short this thing. We went in the money a little bit, and then we went out of the money very fast. One of those things that happens. So, we get stopped out here. We're watching things. Price does come back down. We missed a trade in here. Price keeps coming up. And then it comes up and we decide, okay, this is a nice move. We're going to jump in the market. So we get in right here. 4.5. And price comes all the way up to 8 even. So we've just taken 2 stop outs. One really bad. The next one worse. This one we got stopped out to the tick. This one we got stopped out because prices kept moving up. So price comes up here, and as it comes down, we get hit right here at 5.5. So we have 2 stop outs. Price comes up, comes back down and stops us. We only made a point on this. So yeah, that can be a little bit frustrating, but letting things get to you like that, you'll never be a professional trader. If you let that get to you and you're like, oh man, look at that, I had 2 stop outs, I could have made a little bit more money on this, but I didn't, then all that negativity is just going to seep in and seep into your trading, and your trading is just going to get worse. That's what happens. So anyway, we made that trade, and market comes down, chops around a little bit, and we decide, okay, well, we're going to get into this one again and see what happens. So we get in right here, and price just chops around. Chop, 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 chop. Does absolutely nothing. Then we finally get a pop. Price pops up. Well, on that pop up, we take profit. We get out. So we get out right here and call it a day. I do the recap, what I'm looking at. Every day after the trading room, I always talk about what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at in the afternoon, overnight, We'll see what happens, and we pick it up in the next day. And that keeps us on top of, what we're looking for. It keeps us on top of the market, keeps our analysis fresh. Because a lot of times what I'm looking at the end of that day, something similar to that plays out by the next day. And I say something similar because nothing's ever 100%. Sometimes I say, let's look at the market, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Today was one of those days where the afternoon actually did work out, and I actually had a nice trade, and it was right here. Price ended up from the afternoon, which this is our last trade that we got out of. Price chopped around, and came down into that area that I was talking about, that I was looking at, and then it takes off higher. And that's all that we really look for. That was the trade. And that made everything back. And that's what I do. As I look for high probability setups. And all of that is in my trading strategy. I just look at it and I say, okay, well, that's what I have to do. That's what I have to do. Okay, great. And then I just go out and do it. It's like anything really. You have a professional athlete. They have a game plan, and American football is a really good example of this, because they have a game plan going into the game, and they go out and execute. One of my favorite players, I grew up watching him, was Ray Lewis. He was a linebacker of the Baltimore Ravens. Great player. He'd be a great person to meet. I've never met him. But he just personified the love for the game. He enjoyed every single game that he played, and his job was to help other people become better. He wasn't a braggart, or show off like some people in the sports leagues. But he would come out, and his name was big because he was good, but he also made those around him good as well. And he and Peyton Manning used to always, they would always have really great games when the Indianapolis Colts came in, who was Peyton Manning's team, to play the Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis's team. And Peyton Manning would sit back and call his audibles. Well, Ray Lewis would sit back and call audibles right back at him. And some of it was probably Ray Lewis just making stuff up to mess with Peyton. Some of it was probably real. How much of it, I have no idea. I'm just speculating. But you could see it. They were both very focused sportsmen. And they both wanted to win. And they both went above and beyond what a lot of people do. And that's why they're superstars in their sports. But seeing that, and then if you look at the worst person in the NFL, which I'm pretty sure nobody knows the name of this person. I have no idea who it is. And that's why. You've never heard of that person. Well, trading, your mindset has to be at that level of the top couple percent of people in sports. The Ray Lewises, the Peyton Mannings. That's where your mindset has to be. If it's not there, you need to get it there. Because that is what we use, is our minds, to get better. Yeah, you have to have a hand and a finger so you can hit a mouse. But you have to have a good mindset in order to do that. And that means you have to be okay with missing trades. You have to be okay with losing trades. It's just part of the game. So anyway, hopefully that made sense. You got something out of it. You can always leave comments below if you want to add to the conversation, or just ask a question. There's no such thing as a dumb question, only the one not asked. So you have a question, ask it. With that, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.